This is the Road to Wire Fantasy Soccer Show. I'm Adam Zdroik, joined by Luis Pacheco is back. He's back from his Labor Day vacation. Now we didn't see him for today's slate, but now we're talking Wednesday's six gamer. Luis, how's it going? How's your summer been? What's going on?
Summer's great, man. It's been I mean, I'm waiting for a lot of soccer now, which is great. And I'm glad you guys didn't listen to me for that slate because it was all Benfica and Leipzig, and they actually didn't do that as well as that's supposed to be. So, you know, I'm glad you guys did well. So,
Who
but
did
we're
well?
ready. We're ready for one more season of the Spanish team sucking. Um, I mean, now even Benzema got injured today, so
hmm
I'm kind of happy, but you know, don't like Real Madrid as everybody knows, but we'll see what happens. I think Barcelona seems to they believe to have high hopes. I'm not sure if they are going to do well, but we'll see.
I think the craziness of Champions League was seen kind of everywhere today. We had big favorites in Leipzig and Benfica, but then, the big giants kind of came through. Man City and Mbappe came through. But my cash lineup here, I'm looking at it right now. I don't even know how I cashed. I had David Neres, Jota, Mario Cruz, Cone as my goalkeeper. So I had five guys, sub 8 points, and I somehow got Grimaldo and Rafa Silva enough to enough to cash. I got the lucky Rafa Silva in here. He got that goal, and it worked out for me. But that's just
That's all it
Champions
takes,
League.
man. That's all
Yeah.
it takes. That's Champions League. Like earliest leg, yeah, you say you did well. I mean, if you didn't have Hazard, you probably did well. Like if all the lineups were a combination of Chelsea and Dortmund, lots of Orsic, which I didn't have, and then um, hey, good luck, guys. It's Champions League. Let's see what happens. I mean, for this
So
leg, I think there's a clear, favored. Decent prices, but we'll see who plays, right?
mhm.
I mean, the fixture is very congested, especially for the top teams, and also have the World Cup coming at the end of November, right? Before Thanksgiving, I think. So it's gonna be game. Everybody's saying that they're gonna rest players. Barcelona is supposed to rest players tomorrow, but you know we'll see. I'm only gonna say, guys, look at the lineups and you know look for guys that usually don't play much, that have low salaries. Look for guys out of position. Like, I mean, not today probably for Sevilla didn't work out well, but you have fullbacks playing like wing backs. You have center back playing like wing backs or fullbacks. So be alert of the lineups and the formations. So
Yeah, I mean, we just saw that today with so David Raum didn't get the start for Leipzig. It seemed
yeah,
like, he was the go-to defender at 6,500.
yeah,
He doesn't start, and then it turned into Shobalai being more popular than we thought he was going to be in cash
yeah,
games. And so that just changed pretty much builds completely. We saw Sevilla's lineup. They went with like six defenders just
yeah,
about. They put Alex Telles in like an attacking position. So we just have weird things happening all over. Like we have the projected lineups on the cheat sheet here, but I mean it's
yeah,
these are just guesses. We don't know what the managers are going to be doing on a
yeah,
short week, and like you said, World Cup coming up. Barcelona, the biggest favorite, and they're a deep team. They're a deeper team than they were
yeah,
last season, so there's going to be more rotation than we expect.
yeah.
And but I mean, you look at the odds, and it's the first thing here: Barcelona, almost a 90% chance to win, almost 60% chance for clean sheet. This is Manchester City against Nottingham Forest. This is
Yeah.
Liverpool against Bournemouth. That's what these odds imply right here.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably Colchester City, but more than a first division team. But yeah, I get it. It's fine. It's
yeah.
fine. It's just been silly. No, I agree. So the point is that I mean, you hope for Barcelona to play with the traditional front three, um, because I mean Lewandowski is expensive at 1100, but then you had Dembele and 8500. That's a very decent price for someone that takes most of the set pieces. It seems going to be Ansu Fati and Dembele. I doubt so. I doubt that they are going to move Dembele to one of the wins. So I feel that Ferran Torres might start in one of the wins. I'm not sure how much. How much is he?
8,100.
Yeah, I'm not as happy paying for Ferran Torres or Ansu Fati because they are. I mean, a lot riskier than Rafinha and Dembele. So, but I'm sure there is value. I see a lot of value elsewhere, especially um, Leverkusen seems to have a match away at Bruges. It shouldn't be that hard for them. Um, there's some guys that are cheap. Like I've seen that Baker's my star. He's a right back. He's like 2,500 something like that. But we can go position by position or whatever you feel. So
Hmm. So we got
so yeah, go ahead.
the funny thing on DraftKings pricing is Harry Kane is 12,600, which is I don't even know what this pricing comes from. It doesn't make sense compared to like Champions League. I think we just saw Erling Haaland was 10.9 today, and we have Harry Kane against a decent Marseille side. It's not like a free win for them.
Hmm.
Harry Kane minus 115 to score. He's 12.6. Lewandowski minus 380. I believe that was minus 360 earlier today. So that's going up. Ridiculous odds to score for
Yeah.
Lewandowski. For cash games, do you plug? I mean, it's hard to go against him. We always have these conversations with him at Bayern Munich. He always has these kind of odds. It's like, well, he's favored to score 2 goals, so it's hard not to use him, even at the price.
Yeah, and especially the way that Barcelona is using them today. I mean, Xavi's more possession based. Lots of shots, lots of crosses. He's the centerpiece of the whole puzzle. Um, you know, he's gonna start. So absolutely no way to leave him behind. I think it's just probably a must in cash even at that price. So yeah, I'm with you. I don't understand. I mean, I'm sure the Harry Kane thing is just Premier League is spilling over here, but
He,
you
I
know,
mean, he hasn't been that good though. If it was
well,
if Premier League was spilling over, Holland would have been 14K today.
but Haaland is away, and they were not as I think as heavy. I think. Remember, there is a level. I think, but 12,600 is a lot. I mean, probably one of the most expensive price.
Right.
I think the ceiling is 13,000. The ceiling for any player is 13,000.
Right.
I've never seen a 13,000 though, but
It's kind of ridiculous that Harry Kane gets that price tag. But
yeah,
for cash games, would you do Lewandowski and so I guess let's just go into this assuming that it's either we're gonna have
nah,
Dembele by himself on set pieces, or we're gonna have Rafinha in there also on set pieces. Rafinha's a little more difficult to put in. He's 9,700, Dembele 8,500. Would you put those two guys together in cash games, or is that just spending too much?
if you could, I will do it. I mean, I think Dembele is probably a must. Dembele and Lewandowski, Rafinha. It depends, right? Like, uh, I mean, what are the other options? Like as you mentioned, like Tottenham against Marseille. I mean, Kane is shooting a lot, but I feel like him in Son is. I mean, Tottenham is not as prolific in fantasy points for our game as they used to be. So I will be very afraid of playing then. I mean, Bayern plays at Inter Milan. I mean, Bayern. I mean, not doing as well as usual. I mean, still good, but Inter is a decent team. Same with like Liverpool and Napoli. So I feel that rather instead of going on any of those options, like Coman at 9,000 or Sané at 9,000, I just rather go with Rafinha. But it depends on if I have to fill two spots, it will be Lewandowski and Dembele. Mostly Dembele have generally more set pieces than Rafinha for now, right? So
Right,
uh,
depends on
yeah,
the lineup. I
yeah.
think I think we still this kind of sounds funny and maybe doesn't completely make sense, but we have Pedri down here at 5,900. I mean,
Yeah.
Barcelona are such big favorites. I know he's not a huge upside play, but they're big favorites.
Well,
He's
he's scoring points.
5,900.
He scores points.
Right. So it's not the worst idea. He allows you to do a little bit more with your lineup than instead
Yeah.
of, spending on the Lewandowski and a Dembele together. So he
Yeah.
does allow you to do a little more. Maybe not the best idea, but I think it's still viable. I mean, at least in cash, cash
Yeah.
games. You're not playing
Not true.
Pedri for goals and assists, but I mean if you can get 10 points in a favorable spot, that's great. So
I for the way that Barcelona is playing, and the huge line, I think any Barcelona guy is viable.
mhm.
Especially, I mean, like Frankie De Jong is relatively cheap. I mean, those guys are boon or buzz, but you know, considering the competition, I mean, I'll be okay with a full stack of Barcelona and then figure out some spots. Just because I mean, like, I mean, there's not a one guy in a clear position, especially a forward, that I would like to play besides them, right? Like, Bayer guys. I'm not sure at Inter. I mean, obviously they can score points, but who else? I mean, I don't know if Alexis Sanchez is going to play. Probably not, but it's not a good spot. Um, I just don't like anyone else. I mean, if Joe Felix was a little bit cheaper, I'll be okay with that. But at that price, it's just a risk because they get sub all the time. So,
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, the
um,
main question when looking, at least on the high end, it's like, why would you get someone else other than a Barcelona player if you're going to spend up at 8,000 plus
exactly,
at forward? It doesn't make any sense. So,
exactly. Yeah, because anyone else you can say, hey, maybe I'm gonna go Leverkusen. I'm gonna do Musa Diaby, and it's 8,000, right? Something like that. It's not nothing cheap. So, I mean, the only cheap guys are, I think, what, Evan Nilsson, the Porto guys, maybe a Bruges guy, um, and that's it. Maybe Alexis Sanchez. But why? I mean, if you as you say, I can probably play somebody better at that price at the midfield position or defense than Sanchez. So
mhm. You don't think Griezmann starts, do you?
no, I don't think so.
Okay. I saw that he has like a clause in his contract where if he hits a certain amount of starts, then Atletico owe
You have to play more
Barcelona
than
kind
25 minutes per game, something
of
like that, and they
right.
they just put it at the right time.
So they're just playing him off the bench in every match is kind of what it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, he have to. He could have been a legend, but he decided to go. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's it. You know.
Yeah.
Hey,
These even the Victorian players here, they just seem overpriced. Like you have Clement, you have
yeah,
Chori, 4,700, 4,600. How
yeah,
big of underdogs there? Those are like the same price as like the Celtic guys were today
yeah.
against Real
The same.
Madrid.
The same. Yeah, it's like even. Yeah, the prices. I mean, even they are even higher than some of the Leverkusen guys if they play, right? So yeah, I didn't look at it. I didn't look at Napoli. Didn't look at those teams. It's just trouble. I mean, why to play anyone with a salary in a complicated matchup? So
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like you got the Barcelona guys. I mean, does anyone
yeah,
else stand out in at least for
no,
cash games?
nope.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird pricing that makes you not even want to spend down and just go full on
Yep,
Barcelona. So,
yep. I agree. I am
so
with you,
what's
man.
the look in tournaments? You think Harry Kane will be sub 10% just because of how expensive he is? You don't think he's
I,
gonna be
I
popular, do you?
no, I don't think so. I uh,
It almost
for
makes no
tournaments.
sense to play him.
I mean, for tournaments, it's just there's not much savings for tournaments. Like, I mean, you can go. How much are the Liverpool guys? It's just expensive too. So
Yeah, I'd
it's
rather go with the Liverpool guys
yeah,
who are cheaper than the Tottenham
yeah.
guys.
I agree. So that's my thing. So I'd rather go there
Mhm.
than
Like, even Nunez is 7,100, Luis Diaz is 7,400, like, I mean, you
yeah,
have these Liverpool guys who are much cheaper,
yeah.
and
Like I
that
can I can see people going either Liverpool or Bayern.
yeah,
I'll
just the
be okay with
usual
that.
route.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
mean,
almost like
Yeah,
Sorry, it's almost like today's slate where we had PSG, we had the Man City, we have these top teams everyone knows about, and I mean, what if the? I mean, we could see the same thing happening again with the Liverpool. Had the team being 3+ goals, Bayern 3+ goals kind of thing. Sure, they look like difficult matchups right
yeah,
here, but they are better teams
yeah.
than
But
the teams
it's
they're
like
playing.
yeah, Premier League teams are above and beyond everybody. I feel I'm Bayer even about struggling a little bit. I still believe they can generate a lot of points. In fantasy. So which is why we care, right? So
Do you have
I'll be
no
okay with
faith?
those. I mean, if you want,
Are you gonna
I mean,
stack Murata and Joao Felix together? Is that gonna be your GPP team?
I will do one
Okay.
just for me, but I won't recommend it to people. But I mean, Morata
uh,
has done well. Joe Felix is fine, but it's just hard to justify. I
yeah.
mean, Morata is 9,000. I mean, come on.
I'm not entirely afraid of like Bruges or Leverkusen. I think there's going to be goals in that matchup. That one
Yeah,
has.
I doesn't match entirely. The prices are decent. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, I like Scott Olsen, as you mentioned. I mean, Ferran
Scott,
Jugla for 4,200 is not bad. He's been on fire. Um, I really like the other side too. Like, like I mean, is Baker is going to play? You have Baker as a wing back. You have Frimpong as like I think Baker is super cheap. So probably very well on. So Demi
yeah.
Rice not bad for the price. I like Scott Olsen. It's like a trade. No, I'm not sure if he's forward. But I don't think he is in this right now. But
I don't think it's a terrible spot even for Bruges. I mean, you
no, it
look
is
at
not. It's not.
like Leverkusen. It's not like they're a dominant team. I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah, they've
you
been
have all
terrible.
these. Hmm. Yeah, they allowed 3 goals to what Freiburg and Hoffenheim in league
Yeah,
play. Two
yeah,
losses there.
yeah.
Uh,
Young
I mean,
team, young defense. Yeah.
I mean, then you look at Jutgla. Are you familiar with the Jutgla, Farron Jutgla here?
Ferran Jugla.
Yeah, Jutgla.
Ferran Jugla.
There you go. Is he Spanish, Farron?
He's Catalonian. He's from Barcelona.
Oh, Jutgla. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
4,200. 4,200.
He's
I
done
like
well,
this.
man.
Yeah, I like the spot. So it's not
I mean,
terrible.
it's not terrible. I mean, I mean, just my point is that can I get someone else cheaper for 4,200? Can fill a midfielder position, maybe, but we'll see. Hey, it's Champions League. You play whatever you want.
Play whatever you
You got
want.
Rafa goals, you got Grimaldo goals, and it's great.
You get the Grimaldo curler from 30 yards out.
Hey, that's what we play.
That's that's a nice
Hey, it's all
game.
good, man. But I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, some of the unfortunate thing about just positioning on this, which makes it even more difficult. Like, I mean, we have Kulishevsky midfield only, Soa for Bruges is midfield only, Skov Olsen midfield
yeah,
only. So like we have all these guys who are kind of enticing to a
yeah,
certain extent that they're midfield only. So that's kind of why we're almost pushed to use these Barcelona guys because
yeah.
who else we're gonna
That's the
go
problem.
to?
Yeah, that's the problem. There's not much at forward unless you go with some flair. But yeah, totally.
Do you
It
think
is.
between the Napoli and Liverpool match or the Inter and Bayern match, what match is going to be a little more open with more goals? Because Liverpool have kind of been playing a little more defensive this season. It just hasn't really
Inter
been
Bayer. I think Inter Bayer.
okay.
I feel Inter has much more firepower than Napoli and can damage Bayern. And Bayern front three is amazing. So I expect. I mean, that game should have goals. If I can take the over, I will take it there. So
You just look at some Inter matches. They just had the Milan derby. They lost that one 3-2.
3-2. Yeah.
They gave up a goal. The Cremonese allowed 3 goals to Lazio. So like I mean you
Yep.
see the dents there and what their back line's been doing. So
Yeah.
granted this one's at home, but I mean this is Bayern Munich. This is the Bayern
Yeah,
Munich attack is a little better than AC Milan's, I'll say. So
yeah, I would say so too. Yeah, a good tactic
it's
for Milan though. Good, it was a good match. But yeah, I'm with you. It's like you know, Inter is not defensive powerhouse, and um, and Bayern can take advantage. So I think that game you can target for goals. I will be okay with that. So
mhm. All right, midfielders. Tell me a reason not to play Olsen at 3,100. What am I
I
missing
have
here?
none. I have none.
Is he
Then
going to be over
is Van Aken.
50% in cash games?
It could be. I mean, I'm not. My only thing is like I'm not sure if he taking set pieces for Bruges. I mean, not that he needs them,
I
but
think
I
at
don't know if Van Aken
minimum,
is gonna play. Yeah, he should be good.
he splits them from what I saw.
Yeah,
Um,
I think so too.
so I mean, you have that in there. A
Yeah,
minimum split set pieces. He plays on the wing already, and we already mentioned Leverkusen. It's not
yeah,
like they're gonna lock down Bruges defensively. So
exactly. I'm with you.
3,100.
Have a hard time not playing him. Yep, totally
It's
agree.
almost like we just saw Jota for Celtic today, and a lot of people were on him. 5,100, I think he was 5,200, and it's almost the same situation
Yeah,
except Leverkusen aren't Real Madrid, and Scott Olsen is 2,000 cheaper than Jota was. So,
yep,
I mean, it's not one to one comparison with positions and teams and everything, but it just seems like why aren't we playing Scott Olsen here for 5,100? I mean, just for tournaments, I just we can continue with Bruges here. I just am talking myself into Bruges the more I talk about it. Like we also
yeah,
have Soa at 3,100, who it plays sometimes, often plays as a forward. He's listed at midfield only, so
yeah,
there's another option. And everyone's
yeah.
favorite
I
Hans
like him.
Vanaken,
I think that's a
5,800.
great
But
spot. I mean, Sawa and Scott Olsen both are decent positions for sure. Um, so yeah, I'm with you there. I think those are good spot. I mean, I like them better than, for example, Otavio, which I'm not sure if they're even gonna take set pieces because Stacky's playing at 6,000. Um I see Denzel Dumfries for 4,000. I mean, I know he's not defender, but as a wing back, it's not a bad spot. Um, Frankie De Jong for 3,400. I mean, Frankie De Jong is, I mean, hasn't started much because all the drama of the transfer, and but you know, uh, in this game, like if you need salary, I mean, definitely Frankie De Jong for 3,400. I mean, you will expect 6 points at least. So
6 points. There you go.
yeah,
Someone was asking about Vanaken or Vormer. I don't think Vormer's going to start. He hasn't played for
no
Bruges
Bormer.
in like
No,
a
Bormer
month.
is supposed to want to go to West Ham or something. I don't know what's going on that.
Yeah, there's rumors about him moving elsewhere. I don't even, he hasn't, like I said, he hasn't played in a month, so I wouldn't even consider
Yeah,
even when building lineups here. So we skipped over it. We went heavy Bruges here, but we skipped over
yeah,
a lot of top midfielders.
yeah.
So Kimmich, are we playing Kimmich here? He's
You could,
7,500 at Inter.
you could. I mean, I like Kimmich over Ansu Fati, for example. I know it's sad. Ansu Fati is going to score 2 goals, but Kimmich seems like safe floor. I mean, it's a little bit pricey for floors, but so is Demirbay as well. I like Demirbay at 7,100. So those two are great, like Kimmich and Demirbay, similar players and good matchups. Then I don't know, Payet might start, but he's not playing as much, and it's a tough matchup and Tottenham. Um, Not sure if I want Payet, but always deliver. Crowd pleaser. A London revenge game, right? Because he used to play for West Ham. Who cares?
Hmm.
But and then
It's
I don't know.
7,000. That's not terrible.
Yeah.
You like
Then you have.
Carrasco here, 6,200?
I do. I'm just afraid. I mean, my problem with Carrasco is playing time. So I mean, those guys are in a weird pricing position for 6,000. I mean, he can do well, but he's not a guarantee 90, and with low scoring matches, maybe you want some more upside elsewhere. I feel that is Demirbay, Kimmich, and then you go down to the Bruges guys. You can play Frankie de Jong as a as a as a
N-
punt, as a high upside punt. Sabitza, maybe. I'd rather have played de Jong than any of those guys, than
no
Octavio, than anyone.
Chalanoglu.
No, Chananoglu is just scary to me. It's just a
Tough matchup.
yeah, it is. It is. I'm not sure. I mean, it's not bad. But you know, I'd rather go. I mean, if you could play Child Canolo, I'd rather go Carrasco in that case. So for me,
Okay.
they're similar on this spot. I'd rather play with the guy with the easier matchup, right? So
I think the
anyone
safe
else you like
move,
here? I don't know.
the safe move probably Kimmich and Scott Olsen. That the safe move, but maybe you're not going to get the upside with those guys. But I mean, we just saw today. Maybe you don't need, maybe you don't need that upside. I gave out the lineup I had. I still cash somehow. Maybe if you have two guys that go over 20 points, that's all you need.
Yeah,
Just because in Champions League, there's so many guys to use and there's so many different lineups, even in cash games. So
yeah.
I thought there was going to be, a pretty popular build in cash, but like
No,
Grimaldo was less than 40% in cash games. So
yeah. I mean, you
so
will
you
not
have
should kill
things
you.
like that where guys we think are going to be popular, maybe they're not going to be popular. So
Yeah, pricing was complicated. Too much knowledge kills you. Like Grimaldo hasn't been good fantasy.
mhm.
Uh, he is not taking us set pieces at all. I mean, if you check last match and it was Neres and Joe Mario. Most of the time, there's Joe Mario. Supposedly Drexler was going to play sometime. I'm not even sure if he did. So you got all these guys who say, well, he hasn't done well even with set pieces. Let's just not play him and use the money elsewhere. Not for the winners like you.
Is
Anyhow,
Marco Llorente a punt here?
yeah,
3,000?
yes, I like it.
Is he in your Atletico stack?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, I
I
mean
mean, it's very cheap, and I mean, it depends. He's supposed to play Molina as the wing back, but it can be Llorente. I don't know. I mean, Llorente in that spot is decent. I mean, so you know,
he's played four different positions this season in four matches.
yeah. So we'll see where he goes. So yeah,
So we haven't even met. I don't even know. We haven't really talked about Sun at all. So if you don't play Premier League, you haven't noticed that Sun is so far. He hasn't been the same Sun as we saw last season. He's not in form. He's struggling to score. He had some opportunities over the weekend in a great
yeah,
spot against Fulham, I believe.
yeah.
Couldn't finish. 10K just seems like too much. Like you have all the set piece with Tottenham, but he's also getting subbed off early. So maybe I'm not looking at Tottenham at all, but I mean, I know there's going to be people who haven't been playing Premier League who just see Son. They're like, okay, Premier League, joint top scorer last season, kind of a thing. They'll go to him, but yeah, I just don't like him. So
I don't. I think those guys are Tottenham is overpriced by 2,000 each.
outside
I
of
can
Kulishevsky, I'd say
yeah. That you can do well, but Kulusevski is just a boom bust. I mean, what's the difference between Kulusevski and I don't know
Mueller.
Llorente? I mean, honestly, it's just a matter of like a. I mean, especially with Richarlison there.
Wow, you're
Richarlison
comparing Kulishevsky to Marcos Llorente right now?
in this spot, absolutely. You have a
Kulishevsky's the
guy,
second biggest favorite on the slate.
and what does he do?
He look at his numbers. Look what he's done. He's been better than Son this season. Look at that. 2 assists, a goal. He's been awesome.
Oh, 2 assists and a goal. Oh, great. Let's just look to the other side. How many crosses you see in there?
You don't play him for crosses. You play him
Oh
because
no,
you
I,
know
I
he's going to
play
score.
for the odds goal that Kulusevski is going to score.
He's
I mean, I
playing.
get it, I get it, but I mean, I to me as a positional play, I mean, what's the difference? I mean, I get it. I mean, how cheap is Kulusevski? I mean, sell it to me.
He's
Let me see.
7,500.
Come on. Honestly.
I mean, it's better than Richarlison at 10.4.
Oh, obviously, yeah, obviously. I
Any
mean, but
thought
yeah,
to Zielinski against Liverpool? He's
no,
8,200.
no. I decided I didn't have enough time to do thorough research, so I skipped Napoli. I mean, I don't want to. Liverpool is being really tough to score points against. So, no matter if they're home or away, I know they're not in form, but still Liverpool. I'd rather go elsewhere.
If Musiala starts, which I'm not sure he will, but he's 5,600. Would you play him there at 5,600?
No,
Okay.
I not even play Sabitza for a little cheaper than him. So
I mean, Musiala has been playing in attacking roles, though. I will say
yeah.
that.
Well, you should say he plays instead of Mueller or something like that.
Hmm.
Mm, hey, if you, I think in cash is not ideal, but if you're gonna put a Bayern stack as a GPP, go for it. I mean, don't. I mean, definitely he should be on the build, especially for the price. So,
If
I just don't see. I mean, I just to play those guys, I feel it's hard for me to play any of those guys that are over, like let's say Carrasco or honestly at the bottom. I mean, I'd rather go with Scott Olsen or Frankie De Jong. I mean, over any of those guys. So, but just me. So
I think there's one player as I'm scrolling down this list that maybe stands out here. I'm still scrolling. There's a lot. There's just a lot of names. You're really heavy on Frankie De Jong, and I get it because of Barcelona. But Harvey Elliott is 4,000,
that's not
and
bad price.
that
Yeah,
seems
I
kind of
like him.
cheap. He should
Yeah,
be 6,000 probably.
I think
Uh,
I've seen Harvey. That's a good spot. It's a good play.
he should be 5,500 what Thiago Alcantara is because it's kind of the same position in
Yeah,
Liverpool's midfield. He
agree.
gets pretty forward, so he's been a favorite of mine. He's been super cheap for Liverpool. I've captained him at times. I've used him in a lot of these slates, and now he's 4K. Like he's moved up in Premier League pricing to I think he was actually 6K in the last
Yeah,
Premier League slate. So I mean, you can get him at 4K if he starts again. I believe Curtis Jones actually is out again. So I mean, that's just
yeah.
another
Corrigan's
guy.
out. Rafinha, not Rafinha. Yeah.
Henderson,
Um,
Jordan Henderson's out. So like these guys in the midfield
Keita
are
is not
out
in. Yeah,
to
yeah.
where Elliott, maybe it's more likely Elliott, these
I go
guys
90. Yeah,
get full 90. So there are reasonable guys below 5K that allow you to do two high-end Barcelona forwards. It's almost like DraftKings is forcing us into this strategy.
yeah.
But as I said, maybe no one, the majority of people aren't going to see that, and they're going to do something weird. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah, it's just as you say. I think we're forcing to this strategy of either going cheap here or go cheap in defender. I mean, it's just a matter of taste. Like I'm not playing the Liverpool guys away from home because they haven't done it well. Usually, they're risky for the price. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna if you're gonna go Liverpool or Bayern, I think you should totally place those guys. And
mhm.
yeah, like it's gonna be Milner. I mean, James Milner's probably cheap too, right? I haven't checked, but
Milner's 4K too.
yeah, doesn't. And Milner's been doing well. I mean, even without set pieces, but
Hmm.
yeah,
Any other thoughts on midfield here?
no, nothing else. I mean, Cash, expensive guy, Kimmich, Demirby, everything else, just a matter of taste.
The usual suspects.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm with you.
so
I think Scott Olsen is a good value. I mean, I understand if people say, "Well, I'd rather play Elliott, I'd rather play someone else," but for our game, Scott Olsen is very good value. So
mhm. Defender is okay. We don't have like we don't have overpriced guys. I think
yeah,
maybe TA is probably maybe a little underpriced. Maybe we could see him at 7K, but it is at Napoli. It's not, the easiest matchup.
yeah.
But are we still just plugging in TAA and cash games at
I am not.
6,600?
I am not. I am not.
You're not.
I don't think so.
So
And
where are you going then? Where are you going? Like
I'm
who else? There are no standout defenders here. That's
I
kind
know
of
I
what I
agree.
came to.
I agree. I'm hoping, I'm praying for Baker to start as a win back
You keep calling him
for.
Baker. Is he Bacher or Baker?
I'm not sure. I'm honest to you.
I call him Bacher in my head just because Baker, you got the double K in there, Baker, Bacher.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm Latin, man, not German. So,
All right,
oh, this guy
so
French or German? I'm not sure. Let's call it Backer. All right, I go with you,
okay,
Backer.
let's go Bacher. Bacher. Okay, there
Baja.
you go.
All right, Bahar. There you go.
2900. Okay. Okay, yeah, wingback 2900. All right, I can go
I
with
like
that.
it.
What
I
it
think
what's
TAS 6-6 is playable, but not a lot. Um, I like Jordi Alba if he starts for 5,600,
I
better
just
than
noticed,
TAA.
sorry, Frimpong is 5800, so obviously Bacher at 3K less than Frimpong seems like a pretty good strategy. So
Agree.
that is a nice look there. But yeah, so you start Bacher. Bacher is your first defender in. Who is your second defender in? You're passing on all the Liverpool guys. You're passing on Robertson if he starts or Simicast if he starts. You're passing on those guys too.
I like. I mean, definitely. I mean, the Liverpool guys. I mean, TAA at 6,600 is not bad. Not ideal, but it's not a bad price. I think I like Jordi Alba at 5,600. He hasn't been playing in La Liga, and I think he's gonna have. I mean, he was amazing last year. I mean, pretty much kind of like the only attacking player that worked for them. For that salary, it doesn't look bad. I
I
can see
think
Liverpool guys. Uh,
I guess
I
the
like.
only reason you play Alba is because of the matchup. It's
Yeah,
5600. That just seems like a lot for him.
that's what I think. I mean, I like. Yeah, the other ones is just Perisic is not defender, right? He's not yet defender.
No,
Um,
he's midfield, and he's
yeah.
and he's like 70 something hundred or 6700.
I like Nuno Tavares, right? Like the Arsenal revenge, but away from home for 5,200, it feels better to go with uh with Jordi Alba. Um,
Alfonso
Frimpong seems
Davies at
pricey.
all?
Alfonso
Uh,
Davies, I like. Yeah, Alfonso Davies is nice. I rather do Alba, but Alfonso Davies is good. Um, um, After those, God, I don't
any
see
of
any.
the Tottenham guys? Like if the
Emerson
set,
Royal, right? It's 57, right?
yep,
Is unless I mean I don't know how much is. I didn't even look at Sessegnon or
he's 5000 and
I would like I could do Sessegnon on 5,000. Yeah,
yeah, I mean if he starts it'd be over Perisic, so
yeah, I will do that. I don't
are
mind
you
that one.
what is this Ben Davies pricing at 4500? What am I missing here? Is Ben Davies going to score a goal? What's going on here?
It's I don't know. Somebody did a Tottenham pricing like they were playing Colchester City, I guess. So
Yeah, did Kane and Davies like score braces in the last game or something? What did I miss?
yeah, I have no idea. It just doesn't make sense to me. Um, yeah, I'm with you. I don't see anything else. Another point is I'm not sure if there is stop cheap. Is Who are the fullbacks at Bruges? I know one is Clinton Mata, right?
He's been playing centrally.
That's right. Yeah,
We currently have Skav Olsen on one side, then
yeah,
Bjorn Meyer in the other.
yeah. And they are not defender qualified, right?
Meyer is
Yeah.
actually 3900, so could be an option
Oh,
there.
39. Ah, yeah, yeah. Whatever. Yeah, it feels that God defender after Nuno Tavares after Pavar seems kind of odd. I mean, I don't like playing Pavar those prices. Um, I don't know. The pool seems quite small for fullbacks, for defenders.
So
I
I'm
mean, there's
looking
not
at
much fullbacks
Bjorn.
after.
I'm looking at this Bjorn Meyer guy. He has one
Yeah,
cross in the last two matches, and
yeah,
before that he scored, but the other team was down a man. So doesn't seem like he's a big crosser. So,
no,
but he is a wing back, so he will get forward probably at 3,900. So that's something.
yeah. And Barcelona probably going to play Sergio Roberto at right back, which is not defender eligible. Um, there's not much stuff, man. Uh, maybe Joao Mario, Porto, but I mean,
55 or no,
33,
3,300.
right? Yeah, I guess you can go down there, but uh, looking at those prices, I can say, hey, you know what? TA doesn't seem that bad. I go back to say maybe TAA should be in the lineup because Alba might be riskier, and it's not much savings, just 1,000 compared
Mm-hmm.
to TA, which is usually has been over 7,000. So
Right.
I,
It's almost like the same at forward. It's like we have
yeah,
Lewandowski up here. We got the Barcelona guys. It's like
yeah,
why not use these guys when we can? Why have to go elsewhere? And then with TAA, why go elsewhere when TAA is he's only 6,600? Like who else are you putting in your team with a guaranteed 10-point floor? I don't think there really
exactly,
is anyone else here. So
exactly. I agree. No, I'm with you. I think you have made a good point. Now, I mean, the only thing would be if you need a little bit more salary to play a Kimmich and I don't know Demirbay or someone like that. But I mean, I still feel that TA might be even better than Demirbay at this spot. So yeah,
we're getting we're getting a comment in but saying don't underestimate Marseille. I don't think we are
no,
underestimating them.
you know,
It's just that I mean, just in terms of defense here, like Klaus is 5,900
yeah,
and
expensive.
Tavares is 5,200. That's pretty high pricing for the second biggest underdog on the slate.
I agree.
So I mean, sure, go with them in tournaments and hope Marseille make a pretty good game of it. But
Yeah.
especially in cash games, like you don't want to take that route. So.
I mean, I like Marseille, and I think they have a good team, and I think Klaus and Tavares can do damage, but
Mhm.
they're expensive. What I'm gonna play? I mean, this is my point. I'm gonna play Tavares for 5,200. I'd rather go play Jordi Alba. Um, even Pavar. I just it's not easy a spot. Like if you see Bayern Munich is even I think Bayern is still favored, right? So I mean away from home. Um, so you know I have a hard time with Tavares. I mean it's just or any Marseille guy. I mean you can go there, but I mean that's the point with the price. And same with Spurs. Like Spurs just pricing too high for the slate. So
Mhm.
as you say, you're forced to go with Barcelona guys.
I just think that this Tottenham Marseille match, I'm probably going to take the under on it. It just seems like a spot where Tottenham, they're going to struggle to score, and we're going to see it late in the second half. It's going to be scoreless or something like that. They struggled in European play last season, and Marseille are playing pretty well. Yeah, I'm going to fade Tottenham, but even more so, I just don't think that like it's a spot to attack in tournaments, even though maybe they won't be. I still think
Yeah,
Son will get some looks just because of who he is, but
yeah,
it's just
I
not a
agree.
spot I like.
I like the goalkeeper for 3,800. So there you go.
Right? Yeah, yeah. So goalkeeper here, um, we actually have. So we got Ter Stegen is up here. He's 6,000 and he's
Yeah,
56% chance for a clean sheet. That's okay.
yeah,
I mean, you can find ways to get there. Just because of all the, the cheaper guys we've mentioned, the viable cheaper guys we've mentioned. But so the Atletico Madrid has the second best, third best. They're right there, 40% clean sheet chance.
yeah.
Uh, Gerbich, if he starts at O Block, 5,300, 5,400. Would you try and get money to go with Ter Stegen at 6K, or are you fine with, Atletico Madrid keeper
I,
down here?
I'm fine with any of those two goalies. I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with any goalie, honestly. Like, I feel Ter Stegen is. probably safer than garbage. So I'm not very keen on playing garbage, but it's gonna be hard for Porto to score. So I can see that. It's just not a black, right? We don't get the savings of the substitute anymore. So it's just
$100.
yeah, exactly. Not like we used to be. Uh, I mean, I'm gonna play whatever goalkeeper I can fit in, but I can see for cash. I mean, Ter Stegen seems like a good spot for 10 points, and um, I like Lloris. Honestly, I just not sure that I can play there.
Well, why go Urice when only 300 more is Ter Stegen
Yeah,
with
exactly.
16% better clean sheet odds? There's really no reason to play him.
Yeah,
I'd use Ter Stegen. I'd use Atletico Madrid goalkeeper, or based off my comments I just made, I'd go with Paul Lopez, the Marseille keeper. So I think
yeah,
those are your.
yeah.
I guess
Agree.
you could go like Diago Costa for
Yep.
Porto because who trusts the Atletico Madrid attack. You're probably not going to be using the Atletico forward, so that's always an option too.
Yeah, yeah. I don't mind. Also, I mean, yeah, for those guys, I think I like the Marseille. I like Paul Lopez better than Pilsen guy. Even though I think the Pilsen guy is gonna be peppered with shots, but it's just a matter of like you know it's a double-edged sword. It can go really bad for you. You know I yeah, I think that God. I mean, I don't like any of the goalies. Maybe Mignolet is not bad, but it's just it's just the middle of the ground goalkeepers. I'm not sure. I like Allison, but Liverpool has been not very good on defense lately until they get their center back sorted out. I saw that there's Matip playing this time, but if no Henderson, so I don't know. I feel that Liverpool at that price away from home is just a wait and see for me. Um, yeah, I mean, for me, I think Paul Lopez is a great spot. I mean, Tottenham gonna shoot. I'm not sure if I mean gonna score. Maybe I don't know, but I like the under there as you said, and I like Marseille to have a good result. Maybe a 0-0. So
Hmm. Yeah, someone's talking about Porto steamrolling Atletico.
sure,
It's
go
possible, but
ahead.
I had to look at the results because I just know from last season that Porto is a much better team at home. They never seem to get the correct result away from home in Champions League. And then I looked it up.
Yeah,
When these teams played last season, they combined for 11 shots at Atletico Madrid. And, while they lost when they played at home in the second meeting, they put up a little more of a fight. But I just can't trust Porto away from home. I mean, as I say that, like they did win at Chelsea 1-0, but sure there are results here and there, but it just seems like these Portuguese teams, they have pretty big home field advantage, I think, and that kind of comes into play here in group stages a little bit.
yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Porto. Yeah, we play Atletico played Porto last year, and it was 0-0 in Madrid, right? So
Hmm.
more than I mean, Atletico struggles to score. It has gone a little bit better this season. Morata's done a lot better. But still, Porto is a tough team, so I can totally see a 0-0 without no problem. So go ahead play Porto guys. And, I mean, the smashing part, well, up to you. I mean, I just don't see Porto as a smashing team fantasy wise, but like who's gonna smash Evan Nilsson or something like that? I mean, you can feel a stack. So anyhow, take my games.
Any other thoughts here? Any other thoughts? I mean, we kind of talked a little bit about a few of these matches. What else, what match didn't we talk about? What do you think's going to happen in this Atletico match? Do you think it's just going to be
I think
low
Atletico
scoring,
I think Atletico is gonna win, but it's gonna be close, like 1-0 or
1-0?
2-1.
Okay,
So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I
So
think I think Liverpool might win 1-0. I think Bayern Inter is probably going to be a 3-2, a 2-3. I think that's a good game
Liverpool
to
one
target.
nil. Okay,
I
okay.
think if you ask me for results. Um, maybe 2-1. I mean, I think Napoli can score. I like Kvaratskhelia. He's been playing well. Um, I think Inter Bayern should be a fun game to watch. Probably the one I will watch if not if I was an Atletico fan. And Barcelona, it depends. I mean, I that game looks like I mean, I feel Barcelona can score four. I'm not sure if they can get a clean sheet, but I feel the 4-0 should be doable.
So, Lewandowski, is there any reason, or I mean, there is a reason, but are any of
Yeah,
your tournament lineups going to be fading Lewandowski?
yeah, one could be right. So I mean, and it's just a matter of like, hey, if
And
he
if
does bad, I
he,
mean, like it's like last year, right? Like if you don't have Lewandowski, he does bad, your lineup probably is gonna do well. So maybe it's your choice, right? So
it just seems minus 380 is a lot.
yeah,
I'm trying to determine. I usually like going against. I've unfortunately gone against Holland a lot because I know he's going to
yeah,
be popular, but it just doesn't feel right to do with Lewandowski for some reason. Maybe I should have the same idea here, but I mean this
yeah,
matchup is just it just feels like a brace is going to happen, and
yep,
when you fade him, you're just like, okay, well, this is an absolute shot in the dark. And then, not to mention, when you fade him, you still have to get the other guys. So even though you fade Lewandowski, maybe you have Fati and Dembele. Maybe those guys
yep,
aren't even the ones scoring. Maybe it's Pedri or De Jong, or maybe Fati and Dembele only go 60 minutes, and it's the guys off the bench scoring. So even if you fade Lewandowski, I mean, there's a world in which you still get the wrong guys to score for Barcelona. So it's uh, it's just a tough situation to think about fading Lewandowski at least.
yep. Agree. Totally agree with you, man. It's tough.
If you do it, I'd probably go with what you're thinking. The probably some kind of Barcelona stack.
Yeah,
Get two of those guys in there. It's possible. I mean, there's still mostly everyone's still pretty expensive, but I mean they're all like sorry, I meant Bayern Munich. I think I
yeah,
just said Barcelona, but for Bayern Munich. So the difference this season with Bayern Munich is that you're not stacking these guys with Lewandowski. You're now stacking these guys like Sadio Mane 8,300, Sane's 89, Coman's 91, Muller's 76. So these guys are all
exactly.
kind of cheaper for in terms of like a stack with two of these guys than it was last season. So at least that's something to help build your lineups. But I mean, you could even put three of those guys in your squad. So
Yeah,
um, yeah, that's I,
definitely.
I'm just I was just gonna say something about this Bruges Leverkusen game, but it just feels like if you go heavy in this Bruges Leverkusen game in hopes of like a 3-2 result, that just seems like maybe not the best strategy, but
Yeah,
I mean, you never know. It is Champions
you
League.
never know. I
Yeah,
think for the pumps, is a good idea to have them. Definitely.
yeah. You could do Jutgla and Schick. You can get both the forwards
Yeah.
here. Just
So wise, usually decent too. We'll see, right? I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you got any other thoughts? Everyone's chatting about Mario Getz for some reason, calling him a world champion in the chat. I don't know what's going on in there, but
Well,
you have
Mario
any
Götze
other?
was a world champion, definitely. I mean, long time ago in Brazil, but
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but there you go.
yeah, he was. Hey,
Yeah. Any other
so
thoughts here
yeah.
for Wednesday's
Nah,
slate?
I got nothing else, man. I think we have exhausted what we can, and let's see what happened. I mean, Barcelona as the cash rational, Bayern and Liverpool for GPP. They put your Bruges punts and good luck.
Punts. Scott
Yeah,
Volson is a lock. He's not a punt.
it's a lock. Lock. All right, well, lock that guy in. All
Lock
right,
him
man.
in. All right, Luis. Thanks again for coming back. And Luis, this is the first week of Champions League. We got a
Yeah,
lot. It's a
it's gonna be
busy
every week. You're gonna
it's a
get the
busy
more of listening to
couple
me.
It's a
Yeah.
busy couple months here. I know we got an international break in a few weeks, but it's going to be busy. So we're
Yeah.
going to hopefully not
We're gonna be here.
be too exhausted. But rotowire.com/soccer trial, you can get this cheat sheet if you've been following on Twitter or YouTube. A free 10-day trial. But yeah, you get all this. You get the odds, you get the goal scoring odds, you get the lineups, you get all this good stuff. So, Luis, good luck to everyone. Good luck to Luis. Hopefully you'll do better than you did today.
Yeah, hopefully.
Unfortunately, it's just gonna depend on Lewandowski, and it's just one guy deciding the entire slate, and it's just kind of how it goes. So we'll see what happens. But Luis, thanks again, and we'll see everyone, I guess, next week. Well, I guess
Good
Friday for
luck,
Premier
guys.
League, but yeah.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah.